Agajanana Patmarkam Gajanana Maharnisham Anekadam Tam Bhaktanam Ekadantam Upasmahe Gnanahanandamayam Devam Nirmalaspatikakrutim Adharam Sarva Vidyanam Hayagrivam Upasmahe Krishnam Kamalapatraksham Punyasravanakirtanam Vasudevam Jagadyonim Naumi Narayanam Harim Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Fullaravindayata Patranetra Yena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purna Prajwalito Gnanamaya Pradipaha. So we are just at a very important state in the Vidura Neeti, which happens to be from Mahabharata, Udyoga Parva, Prajagara Parva, and Vidura Neeti, where Vidura is advised to go and meet Dhritarashtra by the attendant sent by Dhritarashtra. Then immediately he goes to meet Dhritarashtra, who was in a very pensive mood, who was in a worried mood. And looking at Vidura, Dhritarashtra wanted to have some kind of fillip so that he would be able to face the announcements by Sanjaya in the open court the next morning. And then Vidura, being very kind, wise, intelligent, well-read, etc. So he tries to tell the truths. And indirectly he chides also Dhritarashtra that he trusted all through the time the four people who are adharmic. First, his son, Duryodhana, Karna, Shakuni, his brother-in-law, and Dushasana, another son. So these four people are so greedy that they loved trying to torture dharma, not obey dharma and all that. So there was a problem. Actually, dharma, if people were to follow, if truth, if people were to follow, there will be less problems, no problems at all. But still, but one has to, if one takes to toll on the dharma and the satyam and all these, then there will be problems. So Vidura, having told much about it in the first section at Panchatrimsadhyaya, then he will start narrating a story. Always directly talking is different from trying to bring in some other parables and stories to make the point well given into the mind. So Vidura in the second chapter, in the next chapter, that is 36, tries to tell the story of the Hamsa and the Sadhya Devata's dialogue. One day that the son of Atri Maharshi, in the form of a bird, the swan Hamsa, was moving. And the Sadhya Devatas, the earliest of the gods, Yatra Purve Sadhyaha Santi Devaha, that's what Rigveda tells about Sadhya Devatas. Not much mythology is there about Sadhya Devatas, but we understand that they are the erstwhile Devatas who went into heaven. They made a layout for all the gods. Therefore, they are the harbingers, or they are the leaders of the entire set of gods to have their locations in the heaven. Because all gods are supposed to be dharmic. So those who are dharmic and satyavantas, they only have got a placement in the heaven. So in the second sloka of that, Charantam Hamsarupena Maharshim Samsitavratam Sadhya Deva Mahaprajnam Paryavruchanta Vaipura. So Mahaprajnam, Hamsarupena charantam samsitavratam maharshim sadhya pura paryapruchanta. The paryaprucha tells that people are really devoted with all vinayam. One has to question, because when you want a wise answer, and moreover, they found this son of Atri, who is supposed to be very deeply read and very well acquainted with our Vedic knowledge and philosophy. Looking at such kind of Maharshi, then Sadhya said, Shrutena dhiraha buddhiman tvam mataha naha kavyam vacham bhaktamarasi udaram. So this is the kind of advice which the sadhyas, they are also very learned, wise, etc. In gods. But still, there is no limit for wisdom. You should be always ready to listen from the Mahatmas more and more regarding the dharma, because nobody knows what is dharma, what is adharma. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, dharma kim adharmaha iti munayopi mumuhu antadu. Munulu kuda ధర్మాన్ని అధర్మాన్ని చెప్పలేకుండా వాళ్ళు కూడా కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అయ్యి దే ఆర్ ఆల్వేస్ ట్రయింగ్ టు డిటర్మిన్ వాట్ ఈస్ ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ దట్. సో ఒకరికి ధర్మం అయితే ఇంకొకరి అధర్మం అవుతుంది, ఇంకొకరి అధర్మం అవుతే ఇంకొకరి ధర్మం అవుతుంది. ఈ ధర్మాధర్మాలు వేరియంట్గా తిరిగినప్పుడు చాలా కష్టం వస్తుంది. దట్స్ ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ వాట్ ఇన్ మహాభారత దర్ ఇస్ ఎన్ ఎపిసోడ్ ఆఫ్ ధర్మవ్యాధ. ధర్మవ్యాధుడు మహామహాజ్ఞాని అని చెప్పి ఒక ముత్తైద పంపిస్తుంది ఆ చిన్న విద్యార్థిని. కానీ వాడు పోయి చూస్తే దట్ పర్టికులర్ ధర్మవ్యాధ వాజ్ బై ప్రొఫెషన్ ఏ బుచ్చర్. అండ్ హీ వాజ్ సింప్లీ స్టన్డ్. హౌ కెన్ ఐ లెర్న్ ధర్మం ఫ్రమ్ ఎ బుచ్చర్? కానీ హీ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్డ్ ఆల్ దట్. సో లైక్ దట్ ఈ ధర్మ నిర్ణయం, ధర్మాధర్మాలు కష్టం. But therefore, because in Lalita Sahasranamam, you get the name Dharma Vivardhini and also Dharma Devata, Adharma Devata. So here, Srutena Dhiraha. So who will be able to determine what exactly is Dharma? These are the qualifications. One, Dhiraha Srutena. Dhiraha means having the self-discipline by virtue of the learning that one has done it. And Buddhiman, also, not only you should be a bookworm, but you should also have the intelligence as to use the discretion. Because Shastramu rendu cheptundi. Kani Shastra Nirnayam, Shastra Charcha, Shastra Nirnayam is depending upon the Buddhi Kusalata, something like the lawyers. Same is the section, but lawyers are able to interpret and see that the arguments go on like that. Buddhiman tvam. And because this Maharshi is a Srutena Dhiraha, he is highly intelligent and well-read, well-known in the Sruti, then also Buddhiman, he is able to speak to Kavyam Vacham Bhaktum Arhati. And that too, what kind of Kavya Vacha? Kavya means full of wisdom, full of discretional knowledge, full of viveka. And therefore, Udaram Vacham, you will be able to give out a acceptable, convincing, and truthful understanding about the dharmas. Then, having been asked like that in the fourth slokam, etat karyam amaraha samsrutam me dhrutihi shamaha satya dharma anuvrittihi granthim diniya hridayasya sarvam priya priye cha atmavasham nayeta. Akrushyamano na krusyet manyureva titikshitaha akroshtaram nipyati sukrutam chasya vindati. So now the speech of the great Maharshi, wise Kavya Vak, is being delivered now by him. He says, "O gods, you're all amaraha, you're all immortals. You have no death, but you have suffering. So by drinking amrutam, you don't see that they don't have injury or they don't have worries and they don't have problems. Amrut, it is more dangerous because at least human beings, because they have not drunk amrutam, if at all the mind is so much worried, if the problems become cropped up, they will die. Or the pain is too much in the heart, anywhere, they go to coma. The brain stops working and brain goes to rest, sleep. But all these advantages are there for mortals, but immortals are difficult. అని అనుకుంటారు అందరూ దేవతలు వస్తే బాగుంటుంది. ఏది ఏమైనా కూడా బాగుంటుంది. Therefore, amaraha, amara nirjara devaha, tridashaha, amarakosha, that Amarasimha says that amaraha, who are the amaras? Nirjaraha, they don't have old age. Devaha, they're always bright, shining forth with brilliance. Amara nirjara devaha. And also tridashaha, they cannot go beyond youth. So they got birth, growth, and then youth. That's all. They don't have the old age. Tridashaha. And they're all living in the heaven. Swargavasinaha, Swarginaha. So anyway, so Amaraha, he uses the word Amaraha, meaning that you have that kind of permanence. And said that you have to Grandhim Viniya Hrudayasya. There is a Hrudaya Grandhi. There is Hrudaya Grandhi means the emotional point, source. Heart is the source of emotions. And according as your emotions, the heart beats and heart functioning varies. And like that, therefore, he says, untying all the knots in the heart. How do you untie that? Because all emotions are really disturbing the mind. So you have to calm down that. So that what is that? Atmavasam nayita means you should use the tranquility of mind. You should go to you should tranquilize the mind, and also you should have mastery all passions. What are that? You have got samsutam me dhrutihi shamaha satya anuvrittihi dharma anuvrittihi. You should have good learning, boldness, tranquility, and adaptability for truth and dharma. Satya anuvritti and dharma anuvritti. These are the two important things. So you should be regarding, you should be high regard, and therefore, when you have got that kind of discipline, Atmavasham, ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನು ನೀವು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳದೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಯಾರು ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಆತ್ಮವಶಂ ದುಃಖಂ, ಆತ್ಮವಶಂ ಸುಖಂ, ಆತ್ಮನ ಆತ್ಮಾನಂ ರಕ್ಷೇತ್. So in Gita, Krishna also says, Atmana Atmanam Uddharayet, Natmanam Avasadayet. Like that, we have hundreds of statements in our scriptures where the Atma is given the primacy for happiness in the life. ప్రపంచంలో జీవనంలో తక్కువ అయినంత వరకు సంతోషాన్ని పెంపొందించుకోవడమే మనిషి యొక్క ధ్యేయం. The goal is to that. Therefore, here, Priya, how do Priya Priyecha Atmavasam Nayet? Whether it is palatable or not palatable, whether you like or dislike, both of them you have got to keep them under your control. You should not lose control. You should not lose your temper. You should not become highly disturbed. But you must be very well managing and tranquilizing your Hridaya Grandhi, where from all kinds of emotions emerge. Therefore, Grandhim Viniya Hridayasya Sarvam. Hridayasya Grandhi. The word Grandhi tells you the gland అంటారు. ఇంగ్లీష్లో ట్రాన్స్లేట్ చేయాలంటే గ్లాండ్ అంటారు. అంటే స్ప్రింగ్ లైక్ బావిలో ఊటలాగా ఉంటుంది అన్నమాట. బావిలో ఊట ఉంటే నీళ్ళు వస్తూనే ఉంటుంది. హౌఎవర్ మచ్ యూ టేక్ అవుట్, స్టిల్ ద వెల్ విల్ నాట్ బికమ్ ఎంటీ ఆర్ ఫ్రీ ఫ్రమ్ వాటర్. సో గ్రంథిం వినీయ హృదయస్య సర్వం. ఎందుకు అలా చేయాలి? వై షుడ్ యూ డూ ఇట్ అంటే ప్రియా ప్రియే ఆత్మవశం నయీత. యు సీ ది వర్డ్ నయీత మీన్స్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు ఓన్లీ లీడ్ ఇట్, regard it. You should only control it. Further, he says in the 5th sloka, Akrusyamanaha nakrusyetu manjureva titikshitaha akroshtaram nirdahati sukrutam cha asya vindati. The people are akrosha, trying to shout at people, trying to exhibit their top anger. Because anger has its own heights. If you go to heights of anger, then you will not be comfortable at all. Therefore, if anybody is slandering you or is trying to reproach you or scold you or chide you, and with all pain, then if you were to also immediately equally respond with anger to them, the pain will not go, neither to you nor to the other person. So, akroshamanaha nakroshetu and manyureva titikshitaha. You have to be keeping your manyu, your anger, under control. Manyureva titikshitaha. Titiksha karya sadhanam. So, there is a statement that if you have got that titiksha, it will help you to get your work accomplished. తితిక్ష లేకపోతే, టాలరెన్స్ లేకపోతే, ఓర్పు లేకపోతే మనం ఏ పనులు సాధించలేము. ఇంకా ఏంటంటే we will have more problems, increased problems when we have lost our capacity to titiksha. And for the titiksha exhibition or execution, Anjaneya Swami is a grand example. You see, Anjaneya was able to manage any and everywhere with his conversational skill and saw that whenever he spoke, everybody agreed the proposals proposed by him. Either Gandharva Kanya or Gandharva Yogini like Swayamprabha, or Rama and Lakshmana, or Sugriva, or Ravana, or anybody. You have got, he has come across several kinds of people. And with all of them, he had lot of titiksha, lot of skill in talking. Therefore, he was a karya sadhaka. So, karya sadhanadalli Anjaneya Swami top best. That's why even today people build a temple, especially Karya Siddhi Anjaneya. Anjaneya Swami Karya Siddhini పొందినటువంటి మహానుభావుడు. Even like Rama. So but Rama is different. He grows angry, but still there are some people who advise him, who cow down and listen to that. For example, when Samudra did not oblige him, even though he made upasana of Samudra for 3 days, he just got up and wanted to exhaust the whole water and give punishment for Samudra. But immediately Samudra Bhagavan, Samudra Narayan, he comes up with all his wife's children and then appeals, no, sir, don't use your arrow. I made arrangements. You can build a setu over me, like that, Samudra Narayan. So titiksha is something which is it's a boon. And that boon in human beings available, but people don't utilize it. Therefore, ఎందుకుంటే ఆక్రోష్టారం సుకృతం నిర్దహతి asya vindati. So anybody who is shouting too much, he will be burnt. His emotions are burnt and he will be highly restless. Therefore, all the virtues in him will go away when he starts talking harsh words. See, for example, even Dharmaraja, who is known for Titiksha, a great character, but he was allowed to commit two mistakes, as you know. Therefore, the Titiksha in Dharmaraja is broken. When to make Duryodhana come up the waters, he had to scold Duryodhana, a Mahatma. So if Mahatma were to scold Mahatma, the other Mahatma would not tolerate. So they would respond immediately. Because Duryodhana was a Mahatma, he just came up the waters. And for that, never in the history of Dharmaraja, he scolded anybody at all, and including his brothers, Duryodhana, in spite of all the atrocities and injustice done to them, Dharmaraja never spoke ill of Duryodhana. Even at the last moment, if Duryodhana were to surrender and say, Anna, oh brother, give me back my land, he was ready to give it back. But Duryodhana is a Manadhana. Therefore, he will never come and ask. He would only fight and want to win. But that could not happen because Daiva Sahaya is absent in Duryodhana. And anyway, here, so what Sukrutam Dahati, Nirdahati, that's what Vidura would say. I mean, Sadhya Devatas are told by the Maharshi that whatever little punyam, whatever virtues you have got, all those virtues will vanish immediately the moment you start talking ill about or talking about that. Therefore, kopam vrutha makarayet is Shankaracharya in Manishi Panchakam. See, vrutha kopam makarayet. You should not become angry unnecessarily, and you should not also reply for the angry to angry. So, for all that, how do you get that kind of discipline? And our Acharya Shankara tells that Vedorityamadhiyatam taditam karma sanushthiyatam. Aya, every day you be in touch with Shruti, Vedam, knowledge, Jnanam, Prajnanam, Vijnanam, etc. All these things are there, all Paramatma Swarupas. Then you will have the Titiksha in you. Therefore, what if you start talking ill about or going angry, then you are losing your punyam. Whatever kirti you have got all the time maintained will get burnt in no time. And further, the Maharshi says, sixth stanza, na krosi syan navamani parasya mitradrohi nota nichopasevi nachatimani nachahina vrutto rutsham vacham rasatim varjayati. Very good. This is how. So who are the fellows who will not be able to give up the anger? That kind of enlisting also the Rishi is able to tell. So there are people who always indulge in slandering, but na krosi syat navamani parasya mitra drohi notani chopasevi nacha atimani nacha hina vruttaha ruksham vacham satim varjayati. So there are a set of people who are capable of avoiding the words that are harsh and that are uttered filled with anger. కోపంతో చెప్పినటువంటి మాటలు చాలా రూక్షణంగా ఉంటుంది. కానీ కోపంగా చెప్పకుండా, కోపాన్ని రాకుండా ఎప్పుడూ ప్రశాంతంగా శాంతంగా మాట్లాడే వాళ్ళు ఎలా ఉంటారు? For example, in Valmiki, in Ramayanam, describes Rama as always a pleasant personality. He is basically a pleasant, that's why Smita Purva Abhibhashanam. The first characteristic of Rama is Smita Purvam Abhibhashanam. The moment anybody comes to meet him, nor before he wants to talk a word or reply, he would always cut a smile. That smile has so much of message to all people. The face is the index of man. Man and fish smell immediately. We have got so many proverbs, sayings in English language also. Because whatever be the language is a diction where the expression may be different, but the truth is subhashitam. So those people, nakrosi, those people who don't shout, who don't slander, who won't reproach, one kind. Second varieties are navamani parasya mitra drohi. See, navamani, they don't insult themselves nor insult others. సామాన్యంగా వాడు ఇన్సల్ట్ చేసుకునే వాళ్ళు ఉంటారు, ఇంకొకరిని ఇన్సల్ట్ చేసేవాళ్ళు ఉంటారు. కానీ కాకుండా ఈ షుడ్ కీప్ ఏ ఈక్విపాయిస్డ్ మైండ్. నవమాని అండ్ మిత్రద్రోహి అండ్ నీచోపసేవి. He will not be thinking of betraying his own companion. So they must be, companionship is important. Snehamu ante affection. For example, Sugriva Rama and Sugriva Sneha. Anjaneya and Rama Sneha. Lakshmana and Rama Sneha. So in Ramayana, we have got hundreds of examples where the relationship is sweet and enticing. But in Mahabharata, contrast is there. The relationship is not good. That you can see in the very beginning sloka of Bhagavad Gita, when Dhritarashtra questions Sanjaya, Mamaka Pandavaschaiva, Kimakurvada Sanjaya. So he just tries to separate Pandavas, his own brother's kids. And because although the brother helped Dhritarashtra so much, he never have love towards his own brother's children. That's very bad. Because of that, Dhritarashtra has to pay the coin, because he loved his children. Therefore, he says, Mamakaha, my people, and Pandava's people, Pandu people. So that's how the whole show. That's why the entire Mahabharata does not give you any kind of particular message. Though ultimately all people have decided Mahabharata is Shantarasa, Moksha Shastra, etc. That's really a great thing to talk about it. So, and also, Nichopasevi, no. Anybody who will not at all make friendship with vile and low kind of people. So, దుర్మార్గులతో సహవాసం చేయడం అనేది దుర్మార్గము. Maybe Duryodhana, a good boy. He is not actually very much ill-disposed towards his own cousins. But here you have got Shakuni Mama, and Karna, who try to inspire Duryodhana for wrong ways. For example, Shakuni said, I will just make the Dyutam, and you get the land back, not with any bloodshed over a table. And he wanted all Kauravas, Shakuni wanted all the Kauravas be destroyed. But that evil intention of Shakuni was not understood by the innocent nephews. They just totally trusted Shakuni and brought ruin for them and gave torture to his own cousin brothers. But relationship is there, but jealousy is one which will murder relations. All relations. That's why it happens. He is telling that vile and low people, Nicha Upasevanam. If at all you want to follow the instructions of the low-lying people, you will be always under great torture. And also, Nacha Atimani, Nacha Hina Vrittaha. A person who doesn't consider himself great, You come across in life that all people think that Atmastuti Paraninda. They always talk high about themselves. They always condemn the others. And such number of people are in plenty in the world. But what should be Parastuti, Atma, Parastuti and Atma Niveda. So they should not have any kind of enmity. And also always speak about the importance of self. That's why in English, we have been taught one beautiful truth or culture. We write letter writing లోపల ఈ రోజుల్లో మార్పులు వచ్చినాయి కానీ ఆ రోజుల్లో లెటర్ రైటింగ్ లో ఏం రాస్తుంటారు డియర్ ఎనిమీ అని రాస్తారు యువర్స్ అఫెక్షనేట్లీ ఆర్ యువర్స్ ఒబీడియంట్లీ అని కదా అని రాస్తుంటారు దీస్ డేస్ ది వర్డ్స్ హావ్ డిసపియర్డ్ నో డియర్ ఎనిమీ నో అండ్ యువర్స్ ఒబీడియంట్లీ నో ది స్టైల్స్ హావ్ చేంజ్డ్ అండ్ ది కల్చర్ ఈస్ దట్ యూ షుడ్ నాట్ డిమీన్ యువర్ సెల్ఫ్ nor demean others. You should always be normal. Again, nacha hina vrittaha. In your behavior, in your conduct, you should not be very cheap. Cheap conduct is a problem. Cheap words are there. And cheap words in the sense they are talking about the graveyard language. శ్మశాన భాషలు మాట్లాడుతుంటారు ఎప్పుడు చూసినా చావుల గురించి మాట్లాడుతుంటారు అలాంటి పిచ్చి పిచ్చి మాటలు మాట్లాడకూడదు నా శ్లీలం భాషయేత్ ఈజ్ అవర్ ఉపనిషత్ తైత్రీయ ఉపనిషత్ టెల్స్ దట్ యూ షుడ్ నెవర్ ఇండల్జ్ బ్రాహ్మణం దృష్ట్వా వేద విధి బ్రాహ్మణి సర్వా దేవతా విద్యంతే బ్రాహ్మణం దృష్ట్వా నా శ్లీలం భాషయేతు అని చెప్తారు యాక్చువల్లీ ఎవరైతే మంచిగా ఉంటారో వాళ్ళని చూసి చెడ్డుగా మాట్లాడకూడదు సో నహీన అండ్ చెడ్డగా మాట్లాడడం అనేది బ్యాడ్ బిహేవియర్ యూ షుడ్ హ్యావ్ ఆల్వేస్ యూ షుడ్ హ్యావ్ ఎలివేటెడ్ అవుట్లుక్ సో హీన వృత్త అండ్ రూక్షాం వాచం సో ఆల్వేస్ ట్రయింగ్ టు టాక్ చాలా మంది ఉంటారు నోరెత్తితే హార్ష్గా మాట్లాడతారు అధికారపూర్వకంగా మాట్లాడతారు అండ్ దే విల్ బి అన్నాయింగ్ విత్ దేర్ వర్డ్స్ సో ఈవెన్ బిట్వీన్ వైఫ్ అండ్ హస్బెండ్ యూ వుడ్ సీ దట్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ బిహేవియర్ దే ఆర్ సపోజ్ టు బి లైఫ్ లాంగ్ ఫ్రెండ్స్ బట్ మెనీ కపుల్స్ ఆర్ దేర్ హూ ఆర్ ఆల్వేస్ చైడింగ్ ఈచ్ అదర్ క్రిటిసైజింగ్ ఈచ్ అదర్ ఓన్లీ ఫస్ట్ అండ్ సెకండ్ ఇయర్ ఆఫ్ మ్యారేజ్ దే మే బి comfortable. From third year onwards, they both do not at all be compatible to each other. And that is how the life goes. That's why Bhasa Mahakavi tells in his drama, somewhere that Alpam Tulya Silani Dvandvani Srutyante. Anta manchi vaata said. Tulya Silani Dvandvani. There cannot be the friendships, two friends with the equal attitude and behavior and comfort. But if you are to have that kind of equality, then you are really great. So low behavior, alpam, seelam important. So ignoble in conduct. And then such type of people are capable of not indulging in ruksha vakyams. కాబట్టి విదుర మహానుభావుడు ఏం చెప్తున్నాడంటే ఆ మహర్షి చేత పలికిస్తున్నాడు దుర్యోధనునికి అయ్యా నువ్వు ఇంతవరకు ఇలాంటివన్నీ ఉంచుకున్నావంటే యూ రియలీ బికమ్ గ్రేట్ బట్ చెప్తూ ఉంటాడు మంచి చెప్తూ ఉంటారు అది ఫాలో అవ్వడం అనేది గ్రేట్ క్వాలిటీ అండ్ నౌ ఇన్ 7th శ్లోక మర్మాణి అస్థీని హృదయం తథా శూన ఘోరావాచః నిర్దహంతీహ పుంసాం తస్మాత్ వాచం Rusatim Ruksharupam Dharmaramo Nityaso Varjayetu. So now in this sloka, Vidura is relating in the language of the Maharshi that Dharma Ramaha Nityasaha Varjayet. Dharma Ramaha, that is those people who want to be always happy, adhering to Dharma, they should try to avoid harsh and angry words. Again, the same way. Why? The question comes of why at all you should avoid harsh and angry words. Nityasaha varjayetu. Ruksharupam vacham. Rusatim vacham. So కోపంతో నిండినటువంటి మాటలు అండ్ కోపంతో ఉన్నటువంటి దుర్భాషలు అవి రెండును వదిలేసేయాలి. వై? బికాజ్ it will affect you very much. Pumsam nirdhanti iha. ఈ లోకం లోపల ఇహ అంటే ఈ ప్రపంచంలో లైఫ్ స్టైల్ లోపల ఏమవుతుంది? ఘోరావాచ, ది ఘోర స్పీచ్ will try to burn, scorch the very vitals of our body, bones, heart, and the very sources of the life of the man. Because bone and heart, these are the two things, the vitals. Marmani is the vitals, asthini, the bones, hrudayam, the heart, and asoon, the pranamal, the blood flow, BP, sugar, etc. All these things are affected from the normalcy if people are using very harsh language. Therefore, any good person who wants to enjoy peace, who wants to enjoy or reap the benefits of being truthful, he should try to avoid always ruksha shabdas, ruksha emotions, and so your speech must be good, your appearance must be good. Shantanga karminchali, smita purvabhibhashanam, and nor teriste manchi matale cheppali. That's why it said ruksha. That's why this is said that in Kannada, Purandaradasa said, ಹಾಳು ಮಾತಗಳಾಡಬೇಡ, ಇದು ನಮ್ಮ ಪುರಂದರ ವಿಠಲನಿಗೆ ಸರಿಯಲ್ಲ. You don't speak foul speech, it is not approved by the Paramatma. Paramatma is live and active when you are using sweet sound language. If there is a problem in your language, you are always at spook. So I think today, in this session, I will conclude saying that there should be peaceful mind, peaceful words, and if at all you are controlling, tolerating, and have cultivated good language, then you will be called as a Dharma Ramaha, and you will be called as a nice person. So that's why if you want to enjoy the real benefits of your conduct and character and also adhering to Dharma principles, then you should avoid all these things. That's what the Maharshi Atri's son, who was just flying, relaxing in the form of Hamsa. The word Hamsa has meaning. Hamsa is Sadashiva. In Mahanyasam, Hamso Nama Sadashivaha. And Hamsa, by nature, is like a rishi. So Hamsa, Hamseti yo bruyat. Hamsa is a highly sattvic animal, bird. It will never hurt anybody. It will not much eat. Its food, its habits are quite sane and quite serene and sanctified. Therefore, all sannyasis are given the name Hamsa. Parivrajaka, Paramahamsa, Parivrajaka. All are Hamsas, but they take to sannyasa, then they are called Paramahamsas. So with these few words, let us conclude. making prayer for Krishna and Vyasa Bhagavan, the Guru. Om Swasti Sarvam Sri Krishna Arpanamastu Sarvam Sri Matrucharana Aravinda Arpanamastu Om Tat Satu.